हेलो फ्रेंड्स, आई वेलकम यू ऑल इन माय शो जन मुद्दों की बात धर्मराज के साथ। आई हैव कम today to discuss with you as how we must see the entire Israel-Gaza war. We have seen and we are seeing that the global media is reporting Israel-Gaza war as if a religious war happening in that area. But they have forgotten that it is not a religious war at all. It is a matter of colonial occupation where Palestine has blamed Israel for so many years, close to 100 years, that Israel has been occupying the land of Palestine slowly. In fact, the way global media have reported widely against the attack by Hamas a week ago on Israel, leaving hundreds of Israelis dead. The same way global media have not been said to be reporting when Israeli soldiers slowly on the ground have been capturing the land of Palestine. This is the reason, we must not forget, this is the reason that an organization like Hamas, a political and religious organization like Hamas, gets legitimacy of the common citizens, common people of Gaza. We might reject Hamas simply by believing in the argument given largely by Israel and other forces who have enmity, who have some kind of conservative approach towards Palestine as a Muslim country. But let us not forget that no organization of the world can survive for so long as Hamas survived without the support of the common people. And at the same time, we must also not forget that the common people cannot come out openly to support an organization like Hamas if that organization or such organizations do not end up helping poor people in its dire need. Let us not forget that Israel and Palestine issue is a global issue. It is an issue which has been open to be discussed by experts, by all diplomats, and it has to be resolved through diplomatic politics only. But after the attack a week ago by Hamas, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is hell-bent and has openly declared that it will wipe out the organization like Hamas from the face of the earth. But actually, we see the bombardment, the level of attack Israel has launched against common people of Palestine is less about wiping out an organization like Hamas and more about chasing the common people of Gaza out of their own land. This is because the reason, and we can guess that it is because of this reason that Israel has almost for last 3 days been launching consistently warnings to common people of Gaza to leave the land and go to somewhere else. This is so surprising that this support, this kind of warning should have been globally condemned. First of all, Israel and no matter any country cannot speak and cannot threaten the common people of any country that if they will not leave, the common people will not leave their country, their land, they will be bombarded and they will be brutally massacred and murdered. Not only this, Israel has given open indication 3-4 days ago that it might do grounded invasion as well. After the bombardment and air strikes, Israeli soldiers are said to be entering into the land of Gaza Strip and capturing the entire region. If you would see images which have been released by BBC, Reuters, CNN, News 24 from India and all global agencies, we find that Gaza have almost been, like that entire lands of Gaza have been razed to the ground. What you could largely see is ashes in the sky, fire on the ground and dead bodies being collected by the people. This is less of a war which follows any kind of war-like situation, but it is more like hatred, and it is also being incited by the global media. We must not forget that Israel has been blamed to be capturing and entering slowly in the Palestine land for so many years. This is the reason that an organization, political organization like Hamas, got legitimacy and got people's support. Still, common people are yet calling for the peace and the global intervention. It is very interesting to note that those people who until now claim to be the global expert on international relations have labeled this entire war as religious, and nobody says that it is a colonial occupation. It is a war of freedom for Palestine. The slogan is Palestine will be free from the river to the sea. This was the slogan through which the students of Oxford University and Cambridge University and Harvard University launched a protest march against the attack of Israel and in the support of the people suffering due to this war. It is not all about standing in support of Hamas and in opposition to Israel. It is all about standing against the idea might is right. It is all about standing against the brute force with which Benjamin Netanyahu has been fooling the people of his own country. It is about checking upon the leader like Benjamin Netanyahu, who can demolish, who can destroy any criticism just to win hearts of his people in the name of nationalism. Benjamin Netanyahu's stance on war could be nationalistic in Israel, but from the global perspective, if we see, it is a misuse of the might, misuse of the soldiers. Maybe today that global politics has not been in favor of Palestine and Gaza, but let us not forget that there is something called poetic justice. Poetic justice is, and we clearly know that of course what is being done to people of Gaza is entirely wrong. Let us also try to understand in the history that how we can understand this issue, how we should understand this issue. Let us go back to our Indian freedom movement. When Indians used to fight against British forces and British armies and British government used to label all our Indian revolutionaries as terrorists. Bhagat Singh's hanging is the example where Bhagat Singh was also labelled as a terrorist in the eyes of the British army and British kingdom. Therefore, many of our revolutionaries had to lose their lives. Today, it is the same happening. Not only that, the same country, Israel, the same people, same community, Jews, which was said to be once the victim of a brute force, they were massacred, they were killed, they were finished, and they had to go to concentration camps, and 6 million Jews had to lose lives because of the hatred of Nazi politics, because of the hatred of Hitler, because of the hatred of the German, that just because Jews had fallen weak at that time and Germans had grown very powerful through politics. I think it is very ironical that today Israel seems to be doing the same thing with Gaza people, with people of Palestine. Maybe today Israel is equally powerful, in fact more powerful, because most of the capitalist countries have come openly in support of Israel, because if there will be no war, who will buy weapons? You could have also followed the news that America has committed to give support to Israel, and America has sent weapons, mass weapons also to help Israel in the war. But let us understand peacefully that has weapon or mass weapon helped anybody in civilization? Let us also talk about and think about all these civilizations or powerful civilizations and glorious civilizations, even like Roman Empire, which in the past used to be so powerful, but today it is not powerful at all. We have seen those people who do thorough study around war and world wars. They have also understood that wars have not helped any human being, any society, any country. It is the peace at the end that our entire education is aimed at receiving and bringing. Peace is the only solution through which we can sit together and we can resolve our differences. If in the 2023 century, if we will stick to our religious hatred, our communitarian interest, our own sectarian interest, and all kinds of identity based on our different interests or different identities, let us call, I think nobody would be safe. Today maybe Israel is very powerful and Palestine is weak, so it may be convenient for Israel to capture the land of Gaza in the name of chasing and doing a national war to defend their people. But we all know that all wars in the past have been done in the same faith of nationalistic fervor. Hitler also started World War II with the same belief. Hitler in his own country was the biggest nationalist hero that history ever produced. But ultimately what happened? After the World War II was over and millions of people from across the globe had to lose their loved ones and life, we understood that finally war has not helped anybody. Even after we see the way America has dropped atom bomb over Japan, and today see that even till today America has not apologized for this mistake of wiping out several humans, millions of humans of Japan. It should have apologized, but America, it seems, is still in the hangover of brute power. America thinks that power is something which can move anything in its own interest, but we all know that no war can be supported in any age. Today we see that Rus war between Russia and Ukraine was happening, and this war was not ever over when this another war between Israel-Gaza started. Who is benefiting from this war? Global politics is observed closely, then we find that right-wing politics of across the global politics are benefiting from this Israel-Gaza war, because Muslims have been at the target since beginning, and that is why they want to sideline this Israel-Gaza war as a war for colonial occupation and against colonial occupation. But they want to project this war between Jews and Muslim. Let us not forget the history that these were the same people of Palestine who once had supported or extended Jews to settle down in that same area. In fact, when Jews across Europe, when they were in the target, they came in large number to settle down in Israel. But their greed also started increasing, and this is because of this greed that so many wars have been fought already between Israel and Gaza. Gaza is stripped. Israel has claimed that Hamas will be wiped out, but Israel does not say. The way Israel keeps capturing and attacking over Gaza land, organization like Hamas will never lose legitimacy. Let us see from another example of Afghanistan. When Taliban was fighting, and fighting was going on in Afghanistan between Taliban and other Afghanistan political parties, whole world had given misinformation that Taliban has been wiped out and Afghanistan is on the way of democracy. But we saw last year that how when Taliban, instead of losing its ground, captured the political ground, the politics of Afghanistan, and came to power, and now Afghanistan is ruling that country. So we have to understand, and we have to be very critical, that at times global media, instead of reporting things, take side of those people who are wrong and who will never be right in the history, because people of that country, people of Gaza can only decide. Our only duty is to pray for peace between Israel and Gaza, because ultimately if after killing millions of people we will come to the round table and sit and talk for the peace, what is the use of it? It is the right moment to talk about peace right now, because people are losing lives every day and war is not the solution. with this spirit, I would like to say that let us understand, let us remember the history of freedom movement of all the countries, and then we realize that every country which is occupied fights the same way Gaza is fighting, and every country which occupies the land claims the fighting country, fighting people as terrorists. I think Israel and Gaza are stuck in the same problem, whereas we as neutral people, instead of either supporting Israel or Palestine, we should pray for peace. We should make them understand. We should widely campaign that whatever the problem, but the solution can be searched. We can reach at the conclusion only when the global leaders will sit together and will express their concern and find out solutions. Killing people cannot help anybody. With this, I say goodbye to you. We'll meet with another debate. I hope you would have liked this, and let us all pray together that there should be nobody killed, neither Israeli nor Palestinian. We should all pray for peace and stop the war as soon as possible. Thank you very much.